It's time for Superfast 50. I'm Shivangi Shukla. Let's get started. Top sources at the Goa police have revealed that Sudhir Sangwan has in fact now accused, who's accused in Sonali Phogat murder, has been confessed to a conspiracy to have brought her to Goa from Gurugram. The police further informed that there was no plan of any shoot in Goa and that the conspiracy had been planned a long time ago. Goa police further revealed that the documents recovered in connection with Sudhir Sangwan were enough to convict him of the crime, with Goa's chief minister further directing the police to file a charge sheet in connection with the case as early as possible. Goa CM Pramod Sawant had further called in a meeting with the chief secretary, senior police officials and district collectors in the state with discussions regarding anti-social elements in the state. Karnataka BJP MLA Arvind LIMBAVALI was caught on camera reprimanding a woman and getting her detained by the police for asking him questions on allegations of land encroachment against her. The incident took place when the MLA was on rounds to monitor water logging issues in Bengaluru. In an outrageous misuse of power, an FIR has been booked against a woman instead of BJP MLA Arvind LIMBAVALI for raising her grievances. Now, the incident is an example of horrific reversal of justice. In a big lead pertaining to the Shivamogga stabbing case, where a 20-year-old Prem Singh was stabbed after clashes broke out between the two communities in Karnataka Shivamogga over Hindutva ideologue V.D. Savarkar and 18th century Mysuru ruler Tipu Sultan. The matter is now likely to be handed to the National Investigation Agency. In a big win for security forces, a Pakistan terror bid was busted in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar district. The operation was carried out by Military Intelligence and Special Investigation Agency, where one Pakistan terrorist has been detained, averting multiple attacks on security forces. After protests in West Bengal over alleged midday meal scam, police has now arrested at least 7 protesters to maintain law and order. Earlier, police resorted to lathi charge after locals torched and vandalized vehicles. No relief for QC in the sexual assault case now. Karnataka court will hear a bail plea in the case on September 5th. Also, a magisterial court had ordered the reissuance of a non-bailable warrant against the chief pontiff of Muruga Mutt, Shivamurthy Muruga Sharanaru, in connection with a property-related matter there in that area. The police in Jharkhand have registered an FIR against BJP MP Nishikant Dubey and his 2 sons, MP Manoj Tiwari and the airport director in the Deoghar airport, among 9 others, for allegedly entering the air traffic control room at the airport without permission and creating pressure over officials for the takeoff of a flight, despite there not being any night takeoff facility in that airport. Latest information, ED is conducting raids at the premises of the PAYTM, RAZORPAY and CASHFREE with regards to alleged irregularities in their functioning. As per sources, a notice has been sent to 3 well-known companies, but responses were not satisfactory. Stunned by the rebel of 5 BJP MLAs in Manipur, Nitish Kumar shall visit veteran Congress leader Sonia Gandhi and several other opposition leaders in Delhi tomorrow. He's set to return on 7th September. According to sources, the agenda of the meet could be the discussion and strategy about the next Lok Sabha elections. BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra at a press conference in connection with the Congress head-out at the Bharat Choro Yatra, stating that it was in reality the Gandhi family BACHAO ANDOLAN.
कांग्रेस पार्टी को इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद हमारी हिदायत है, भारत केवल वही जोड़ सकता है जो भ्रष्टाचार छोड़ सकता है। जो भ्रष्टाचार छोड़ नहीं सकता वो भारत जोड़ कैसे सकता है? ये भारत जोड़ो नहीं, ये गांधी परिवार बचाओ आंदोलन इनका आरंभ हो रहा है। मैं चाहता हूं कि आज इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद राहुल गांधी इस विषय पर अपनी टिप्पणी करें। आंदोलन से पहले वो इस विषय को बताएं कि वास्तविकता क्या है।
Samir Patra further made targeted comments against Rajasthan Chief Minister, comments on law and order situation in the state, particularly in connection with the sexual offences in the state.
तो बड़ा कष्ट होता है कि इस प्रकार के बयान से अशोक गहलोत जी कहीं ना कहीं जो कांग्रेस की माइंडसेट है उसे दर्शाते हैं। और मैं निवेदन करूंगा आप सभी पत्रकारों से भी कि इस विषय को लेकर अशोक गहलोत जी से क्लैरिफिकेशन जरूर मांगा जाए, उनसे माफी जरूर मांगी जाए।
Based on specific inputs of military intelligence, Kashfree police apprehended a local Maulvi at Kashfree involved in passing information related to security forces and assisting a less-known terrorist organization, Kashmiri Janbaz Force, being controlled from Pakistan. Delhi Police's economic offences wing questioned Bollywood actor NORA FATEHI in connection with an extortion case linked to conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. FATEHI was summoned last week. She was questioned at the Mandir Marg office at the EOW for hours and her statement was recorded. Chandrasekhar, who is currently lost in jail, is accused of cheating various people. After the Assam government demolished illegal madrasas, AIUDF MLA has condemned the move, alleging dictatorship in the state. He further said that Assam government, instead of demolishing the illegal madrasas, could have issued SOPs.
घर में कोई एक्सट्रीमिस्ट मिल गया तो गांव को डेमोलिश करोगे क्या? ये जो आर्गुमेंट है ये सरासर एक गलत आर्गुमेंट है, एक रॉन्ग आइडिया है। यहाँ रूल ऑफ लॉ नहीं चल रहा है। हमारा स्टेट में रूल ऑफ लॉ बंद हो गया। अभी डिक्टेटरशिप, हिटलर जैसा कारोबार यहाँ चल रहा है।
Kerala governor has now accepted the resignation of the Minister of Excise and Local Self-Government, M.N. Govindan, today. This comes after Govindan had sent his resignation yesterday night. A physical altercation has taken place between groups conducting a rally against love jihad and police officials, where a woman and her mother reportedly converted to Islam after the woman was married to a man from the community. An attempt to suicide by the woman's father after the refusal to return by the woman and the mother was what led to the protest and eventual altercation. A shocking apathy in Sihor shows family members cry, which are now you can see on the screens, how they're carrying a dead body on bike after denial to medical facilities. However, NDRF team rushed to the spot later as the video went viral. Maharashtra's CM Eknath Shinde has reportedly written a letter to Maharashtra's governor not to consider names of 12 MLCs which are submitted by former CM Uddhav Thackeray. It is further reported that the Chief Minister would send in fresh names for the vacated seats at the Maharashtra Legislative Council. A joint operation of the police and the CRPF has led to the recovery and seizure of at least 400 kilograms of ganja in Assam's Nagaon. Now, one individual has been detained following the operation. People in West Bengal's Midnapur engaged in protest and arson over complaints of corruption in the midday meal system in the region. And the protesters were eventually dispersed by the police with the use of force. An encounter has undertaken following a joint operation by forces of the Jharkhand police and the CRPF against a Maoist camp, leading to 2 Maoist commanders being neutralized with various forms of equipment recovered at the site. Congress leader Jairam Ramesh welcomed the bail given to TEESTA'S by the Supreme Court, stating that there were a number of activists, dissenters and critics of the Modi government who were deserving relief from such cases. For the third day in a row, the Goa police visited late actor and BJP leader Sonali Phogat's Sant Nagar residence in Haryana's Hisar district and seized 3 diaries. Sonali's bedroom, wardrobe and password-protected locker were inspected by the police search team. The police have also sealed the locker at the residence. In an interesting development, 5 out of 7 MLAs from Manipur have jumped from the CM Nitish Kumar's party JDU to the BJP. The merger has been accepted by the speaker. This comes after JDU central leadership was thinking about withdrawing support from the BJP-led coalition in Manipur. TMC General Secretary ABHISHEK Banerjee, who's being probed by the ED in the coal scam, was attacked. He has in fact attacked the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and he has alleged that the money of cow smuggling has now gone to the top BJP leader. Shiv Sena MLA Santosh Bangar, earlier seen slapping a government canteen manager, has been complained against once again by the Pune District Health Officers Organisation. A letter of complaint written to Maharashtra CM Eknath Shinde accuses him of using derogatory words and threatened district health officers. After speculation of Congress joining the Shinde BJP government came out, Maharashtra CM Eknath Shinde clarified the situation. Maharashtra CM said that he would not comment on the rumours. He added that the recent government formation in Maharashtra was a gesture of respecting people's wishes. A social worker allegedly forced a Padma Shri awardee Kamala Pujari to dance at a hospital while she was admitted there in Cuttack. Now, Odisha's tribal community has sought action against the social worker for making her Miss Pujari dance in the intensive care unit of the government hospital. According to IMF's figures calculated on the basis of US dollars, India surpassed the United Kingdom to become the world's 5th largest economy. India increased its lead in the first financial quarter. According to sources, an elephant named JOYMALA from Assam was sent to a lease to the temple there in Tamil Nadu in 2008 for 6 months. But even after more than 13 years of expiry of the lease, the elephant continues to face torture in the temple premises. A team constituted by the Assam government has been sent to assess that situation. Jammu and Kashmir administration announced 25 lakh rupees worth ex gratia in favour of next kin of elected representatives of the Panchayati Raj institutions if they had lost their lives in the terror-related incidents. So the move is being seen as an attempt by the Jammu and Kashmir government to ensure that those who serve people did not suffer by losing their life due to terror incidents. PM Modi is expected to host Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in New Delhi as she visits India for a 4-day tour focused toward multifaceted bilateral ties. Objections against an integrated checkpost at South Tripura are expected to be taken up at the meet. The International Monetary Fund warned that Pakistan's economy was, in fact, reeling amid record high inflation and soaring food prices, among other issues, with high petrol prices, which could trigger protests across the country. That the full impact of the massive flooding on the prices of food items there and other commodities is yet to be assessed. After back-to-back incidents of Indians being targeted in the US, a fresh video has surfaced, but this time from a European country where an Indian man is allegedly being called a parasite and a genocider. An undated clip went viral on social media platforms which shows an Indian man whose identity has not been established yet is being targeted by an attacker who calls himself an American, trails behind him yelling racial abuses. UN Assistance Mission in Afghanistan condemned the attack on a mosque in Afghanistan's Herat. At least 20 people were killed in a blast that rocked a mosque there in northwestern Afghanistan during Friday prayers. Now, in fact, it's been said, the Mujahid has said that the Taliban would punish those responsible for the explosion. All eyes are on the UK PM's election as a former Chancellor of Indian descent, Rishi Sunak, and former the Foreign Secretary Liz Truss are in the grueling contest to succeed Boris Johnson as the British Prime Minister and the head of the Conservative Party. The voting has concluded and results shall be announced tomorrow. Pakistan's former PM there, Imran Khan, has warned the government that he would begin a massive agitation march to Islamabad if political victimization against his party continues. Addressing a public gathering in Gujarat, in the country's most populous Punjab province, Khan said that workers of his Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party were unnecessarily being targeted. Former Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa returned to the country from Thailand nearly now 2 months after he fled the country following a massive uprising against his government over the island nation's worst ever economic crisis. China brushed aside calls from the UN chief Antonio Guterres to implement the UN report accusing Beijing of serious human rights violation against Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang province, terming it a patchwork of disinformation that serves as a political tool for the US and some Western forces. A fast-moving fire in Northern California has threatened hundreds of homes, and authorities ordered at least 5,000 residents across 3 communities to leave immediately. Residents were told to evacuate after the blaze spread to 500 acres in about an hour. President Joe Biden and Commerce Secretary are announcing $1 billion in federal grants for manufacturing clean energy, farming, biotech and more. The grants announced shall go to 21 regional partnerships across the nation. President Joe Biden met with civil rights leaders to discuss a wide range of issues, including voting rights, police reform, the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi, and economic justice. Aim for today's launch, NASA's new moon rocket. After fixing fuel leaks and working around a bad engine sensor that foiled the first try, stands ready now. The inaugural flight of the 98-meter rocket, the most powerful ever built by NASA, was delayed late in the countdown on Monday. According to a more detailed inventory of the seized material made public, FBI agents who searched former President Donald Trump's Florida home last month found top secret records in the office and storage room, along with folders with classified banners, but nothing inside, and more than 10,000 other government records with no classification markings. The Biden administration is set to announce a more than $1 billion USD arms sale to Taiwan as US-China tensions escalate over statues and the status of the island. Now, White House officials said that the largest portion of the sale, $655 million logistics support package for Taiwan's surveillance radar program. Congratulating India for commissioning its latest indigenous Indian aircraft carrier and joining a prestigious group of 5 nations with the capability. The United States of America's fleet said that they are looking forward to continue to work together with India for a free and open Indo-Pacific. Streets in Chengdu were largely deserted after the city ordered its 21 million residents to stay at home this week following a spike in COVID-19 cases. The start of the new school term has been delayed, although public transport continues to operate and citizens are permitted to leave the city if they can show a special need. All businesses apart from pharmacies and supermarkets have been shut down. Restaurants were offering only